Что ж, погружаемся. Безумие есть благо. Тише ты, не паникуй. Нельзя взаимодействовать, когда не подсвечено.
What a putrid offering.
Чувак, выйди, так поговори.
Don't fight. You have been chosen.
Это бег?
Behold. Everything has already been written. But perhaps you will attempt to change your destiny.
Как тёлка,
I
наверное.
hate whiskey. A good old story of blackmail and a speaking.
Унявшему меня владельцу бара не понравилось, как я закрыл дело, но если ты нарушаешь закон, сложно спорить с частным детективом, который собрал доказательства твоей вины.
Natural sciences, linguistics, archaeology. 'Cause 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 'cause
песни.
Married woman runs off with her
Замужняя
girlfriend.
женщина сбегает с
The husband
подружкой,
couldn't
но муж так
understand.
ничего и не понял. Охуенно, жена лесбиянка.
I used to be an avid reader. The Wentworth Agency doesn't attract. I have business here to attend to.
Выпить.
Been a while since I jotted down something other than my nightmares.
Угу. Больше не нужно. Что тут? Ебаться, сраться. Дарквотер. Место это агентство наше, предметы. Что тут? Ебаться, сраться, пиздец. Да не звони ты, блядь.
I'm listening.
Are you Edward Pierce, private investigator contracted by the Wentworth Detective Agency?
That's correct.
Hello, Mr. Pierce. I'm Lucy Sherifield, in charge of investigators over at Wentworth. I'm calling because of a problem with your file. A fire has destroyed some of our documents.
Is that right?
I'm so very sorry, but I have to collect your personal information yet again.
Так, что у нас? Сила отражает физические способности, повышает шанс успешного выбить дверь или сломать какой-то механизм. Медицина. Оккультизм. Психология, понимание человеческой натуры, поиск. Так будет.
Thank you for this information, Mr. Pierce. Our files will soon be up to date. And on a related matter, may I raise a sensitive question?
What's wrong?
As you know, we wish to closely monitor the progress of our contractors. And it would seem you've been accepting fewer new cases.
Work is scarce.
Mr. Pierce, you know as well as I do, there's never been more investigative work than now.
But are those cases worth it?
They're worth not losing your license. Show yourself worthy of the Wentworth Detective Agency, and we might keep you on the payroll. Mr. Pierce, are you still...
I'm coming.
Sir, I came here on the advice of a person whom I hold in high esteem, and I must say that I expected anything but a drunkard's lair.
You're free to leave anytime, sir.
Do you know to whom you speak?
Stephen Webster, industrialist and art collector. All of Boston knows you.
Tell me, Mr. Pierce, are you capable of handling a new case, or are you simply a deadbeat inebriate?
If you come to me, it means you're desperate.
Nobody believes me. They take me for an old fool. Sarah, my little girl, she is dead. Even you must know of her. She was Sarah Hawkins.
The painter? Yes.
Да,
Everyone knows her work.
The police accuse her of killing her family. They all died in a fire. Sarah, her husband, and Simon, my grandson.
I can't do anything for a woman who is already dead.
Find out the truth. They say she was mad, but I know that's a lie. She would never have done such a thing.
But if you have no proof...
I've brought all that I have. Look. I want you to look carefully at this painting. Tell me all the assumptions that come to mind.
What am I supposed to find?
Tell me if this is the work of madness. or if, on the contrary, you manage to detect some logic, a rationality to follow so that I may understand it.
Is that all you want from me?
Yes, please.
All right. I'll look at your picture. That's all you've got? The painting?
I placed a file on your desk. It contains everything I have on the affair.
A warehouse on Darkwater. Some sketches of the Hawkins family. Rather thin. Its strange beauty isn't enough to hide the feeling of dread it carries.
So, Mr. Pierce, what do you make of these elements?
You must tell me if what the police suggest about the mental state of your daughter is true.
No. Sarah had visions. Everyone knew that. She never would have hurt a fly. She only thought she saw things.
Saw things? What do you mean by that?
I never knew what she meant by that. My daughter was an enigmatic figure, Mr. Pierce. You must find out the truth about her life and death.
The sender's label mentions Warehouse 36.
That's right. It came with Sarah's last painting.
And you think your daughter could have been the sender?
That is what you must find out. Go to Darkwater. Find Warehouse 36.
Darkwater? Never heard of the place. Where is that?
It's a small, remote island off the coast of Boston. Sarah lived there with her son and her husband.
I suppose you want to ship me off there.
Darkwater holds the secret regarding my daughter, Mr. Pierce. You must uncover it.
Her husband was a big deal on the island. But the police are sticking to the accident theory. Though they mentioned Sarah's mental state was fragile. I believe you are right, sir. This case is not as simple as it appears.
I am aware of that. I believe there is more to this case than just an accident.
I'm a private investigator, not an art critic.
I guess you're not as clever as you think, then. The painting is linked to this case, can't you see?
I think I'm beginning to understand.
I'm willing to do anything for my daughter to recover her honor.
Quiet down. I'm on your side. Let's sum things up. An artist dies with her family in a house fire. Your only clue is a sort of promontory painting sent from Darkwater right before her death.
Correct. And the rumors about her supposed folly.
Which you don't totally deny.
Find that warehouse. Find out the truth regarding Sarah Hawkins' death. You'll be handsomely compensated.
All right. I'll take the case. I'll go to Darkwater and look into the death of your daughter.
Thank you, Mr. Pierce. I didn't expect any less coming from a man in your situation.
Something's queer. But it's not like I have a choice. Darkwater. I think I've got a book on the North Atlantic. On natural sciences, linguistics, Darkwater is off the coast of Boston. But I've never heard of it. According to this book, it was often mentioned during whale hunting times at the end of the 19th century. But it seems to have been shunned since then. All I have to do is go to the port. I just hope that I can find a boat able to take me to Darkwater. I used to be an avid reader.
Все, мы готовы. Поехали. Одно очко опыта за то, что нажрались. Пирс сделал дело Хокинсов. Проклятую художницу обвиняют в том, что устроила пожар, который убил ее вместе со всей семьей. Единственная улика — страшная картина, которую она отправила отцу. Указан номер склада расположен в доках острова Дарквотер. Именно с этого места Пирс и начал расследование. Лучше бы ты лишился лицензии, чем взялся бы за это дело. Вспомнил проекте Фрейзера.
Almost there.
Ну, почти на месте.
Stay on board. There's guys coming to unload. Welcome to Darkwater Island, Mr. Pierce.
Why, thank you, Captain Fitzroy.
So, what wind brought you?
Does the Hawkins case mean anything to you?
Ща, ребят.
A sad story that we would all prefer to forget. Charles Hawkins may have been a landlubber, but he was a good man.
And his wife, Sarah Hawkins.
A nice young woman. And a great painter. What a tragedy. You know what? Go have a drink at the Stranded Whale. What you need is a good pick-me-up. Mitchell may not be very welcoming, but his bar holds a surprise for you. As for me, you'll find me at the Harbor Master's office. If it's the Hawkins family that brings you here, I have a pile of documents that should interest you.
Understood. I'm going for a look around the docks.
Please move back. Let the police do their work. Hey, Sullivan. Can't you go any faster?
You've seen how old this thing is. If we force it too much...
The blood is just beginning to coagulate. It died a short time ago. Only a specialist would know what killed it.
Don't put that beast back in the water, you shysters! You're crazy! They're cops. They can't understand. Damn stupid idiots. Get it.
I wonder what Captain Fitzroy has got to say about this woman, Cat.
Наше соглашение значит не держите своих людей под контролем, не задирайте роз. Нас мы вам не по зубам.
I've brought out the Charles Hawkins cargo manifests. They're on the table next to you. But in truth, you're likely to be disappointed. When you're done, come join me on the deck.
These manifests are signed by Charles Hawkins.
Больше ничего не понятно.
That's all I'll get from them. The Scylla. It finished up beached at the entrance to... This blackboard hasn't been used in a long while. Fishing equipment. Could do with some rust remover. This man and Fitzroy could be twins. What a macabre souvenir.
From here, I see everything that goes on in the harbor. The hard-working lives of my sailors, the fights at the Stranded Whale, even the antics of these wharf rats don't escape me.
It's you who lays down the law around here.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. I'm just the last serving captain on Darkwater. Tell me what I can do to help you.
Your manifests have been blacked out. They're totally unreadable.
Yeah, I saw that. I've got no idea who did it or why. I don't remember having countersigned anything special enough for someone to hide it.
And why obliterate the dates, as well as the goods stored in the warehouse?
You mean that the dates have some meaning?
I know that Charles Hawkins was descended from a family of ship owners, and the island's fishing industry was hit badly.
Indeed, we specialized in whaling. But no whalers went out to sea after the miraculous catch of 1847.
So where did the Hawkins family get its money?
Well, from what Charles inherited, I presume. Although these dates on the manifests could indicate that he had contracts of another kind.
With whom, I wonder? I was looking at your photograph. One of the man in front of the boat.
Ah, yes, I can see the one you're talking about.
Interesting resemblance. I thought it was you, but with a wooden leg.
And for good reason. That's my father in the photograph.
Your father?
John Fitzroy, captain of the Scylla. His wooden leg is here. You can go and see it if you're interested.
I'm just back from the wharves. The dead killer whale is unsettling the sailors.
Ah, yes. Us men of the sea are superstitious folk.
Killer whales don't have many known predators.
That's true. And normally, they're not found around here. But, you're gonna take me for a fool.
Give it a try.
Have you heard about the depths? Trenches that plunge into the earth and that shelter creatures unlike any other.
You're talking about mythology.
Ha! Indeed, you're right.
The police took the decision to put the killer whale back into the sea.
You've got to understand them. They didn't know what to do with it.
I think that was a mistake. Who says that whatever caused those wounds is no longer in these waters?
You think we should have kept it?
To look into the real cause of its death, at least. I found a threatening letter, signed by a certain cat.
What? I don't mind you visiting my harbor master's office, but I'd prefer if you didn't go through my affairs.
Are you being blackmailed?
Not exactly, no. That shyster wants to make us pay protection money.
With any success?
I wouldn't say that, but she terrifies my men as much as her own.
Can you not do anything to stop her?
Don't you worry about that.
I'm looking for Warehouse 36. Do you know where it is?
Look, it's right there. The warehouse is opposite the jetty. You can't miss it.
Understood.
You know who the building belongs to, don't you?
It belonged to the Hawkins family.
Precisely.
I think that somebody here wanted me to search this warehouse. I shall be on my way.
So come back and see.
Prohibition is just a joke around here. That suits me fine. Hey, be careful.
Чё, красиво он его подъебал.
Let's get him another drink. He's dry.
In my bar, we don't serve troublemakers.
Pure instinct. I behaved like a Hun, and I sincerely apologize.
Veteran, huh?
307th Infantry Regiment.
Well, that'll be okay for now. But the war is over. Try not to forget it.
I'm here for information, not for a fight.
I prefer it that way. Speak then. I reserve the right to answer or not.
What do you know about the Hawkins warehouse?
If I were you, I wouldn't hang around there.
Why not?
First off, there are rumors. Sailors from around here say you can hear noises coming from the warehouse at night. Screams, that sort of thing.
Screams?
And that's not all. There's the fate of its owners and all the superstitions that go with it. But I'll say no more. Anything else?
The stranded whale. I guess this bar has been here a long time.
What can I tell you? I'm a nostalgic sort of guy. The name, it reminds us of the golden age of dock water, when our whalers left for long months and came back sweating and stinking of the oil and flesh of the whales they'd been hunting.
It was a tough time, all the same.
Ah, but steeped in glory. We've never known such wealth since then.
What can you tell me about it?
We all knew she was famous on the mainland for her paintings. Never understood why. Then, I don't want to speak ill of the dead.
Her style made her famous. How would you describe it? Tortured?
Yeah, well, it wasn't normal. I mean, for a young woman with a child and all that. We saw them in the papers and we said to ourselves, who can paint such things? Is that how she sees the world?
So they made you feel uncomfortable?
You need to see them for yourself. Make up your own mind.
Her vision, was it so terrible?
The way I see it, the truth is really a question of point of view.
What do you mean by that?
Do you still trust the truth after a bottle of whiskey?
I've got what I need.
Anything else?
I didn't expect to find alcohol on this island. What's the source of this miracle?
You mean who? Our source of supply wouldn't like me to betray them to the first comer.
I'll tell nobody.
She'd know it anyway. Anything else?
Captain Fitzroy told me about a little pick-me-up.
You want a drink?
I wouldn't say no to a glass.
Try this.
I think we'll get along well. That'll be all for now. The miraculous catch. Apparently, the most significant event of the last 80 years.
No right to treat us like this.
And the doctor, what did he say?
Видел пчелку в самом начале.
Nightmares. Can hear things and voices whispering. Will follow its reader and appear at various locations, gifted with its own consciousness, until it finds a new reader.
What? Another break?
One of those damn sailors came looking for trouble again. But he won't try again anytime soon. We gave him a good hiding.
So you said to yourselves that after such a feat, you could abandon your post. Can't you see that we're in the middle of a conversation? I told you to beat it. I told you to beat it.
Дайте ей стукну. Только не бегает, он быстро ходит.
Charles Hawkins was a heavy drinker. And a debtor. Interesting. It looks like there's a way in under this grate.
Так, тогда он есть. каким-то Брэдли поговорить. Ты кто?
Where do you think you're going?
Who are these others so interested in the warehouse?
And why would I tell you?
I'd like to know more about the Hawkins case.
I don't think so.
I'm not here to hinder your... Edward Pierce, private detective.
Sorry, we're all a little on edge today. What are you doing here?
I'm investigating the death of the Hawkins family.
Darn it. Why do you want to drag up all that stuff again?
My investigation has led me to this warehouse.
That case was closed months ago.
What more can you say about the death of the Hawkins family?
Not much more than what everyone knows. I wasn't on the case. They were all burnt to death, right? Up at their place.
The whole mansion went up in flames.
Don't get it into your head to go wandering around up there. It's dangerous.
What do you mean by that?
The only one left there is old Silas, and the accident has affected him badly. He can be unpredictable, especially if a stranger starts poking around the property.
Is he a danger to the public?
No, he's in his own home. Do yourself a favor. Leave him well alone. You again?
No need to get worked up.
Да хватит мне перещелкивать клавиатуру.
You live here?
Why did you do that, huh?
We saw what you did to St. Brendan.
Yeah, we'll teach you to come onto our island and ridicule our protectors.
I've never heard of this saint. Is it a local belief?
But everyone knows St. Brendan, the navigator.
He's the patron saint of whales and whalers.
What happened to the statue?
Go see for yourself. He's at the end of the jetty.
There's you, our beloved statue, and then those two bozos behind us. Wait, now that I think about it, it's got to be them. There's one of them who's always going back and forth to the statue.
Quieter. That's all we need for them to hear us.
What brings you to dark water?
The two guys behind you. What are they guarding?
The bootleggers. Scum.
They're protecting their territory. From whom, I wonder?
They really don't have a choice anyway. They're more scared of Cat than an attack by drunken sailors.
If only they would kill each other.
Is it Cat who's shaking down Captain Fitzroy?
Hold on just a minute. We didn't tell you a thing.
Nothing at all.
That statue represents your local saint.
What do you mean by local, exactly?
You wouldn't be looking down at...
St. Brendan. He protected whalers and fishermen like us. Until those assholes defaced him.
Peculiar house.
Yeah, that's where we live. Our boat.
It's not because it doesn't float anymore that we're going to abandon it.
Isn't it a bit early for alcohol?
We got nothing better to do anyway. There's not much work around here.
Fitzroy gives us a few chores every now and again, but since the whaling station shut down, ain't a lot of jobs left around here.
So we drink.
I've taken enough of your time.
We'll see you.
Еще увидимся, да.
Who's this guy?
No idea. What's with you wandering around here like a hungry dog?
We saw you talking to the two soaks. Go die of thirst, the lot of you. It'll stink less.
I've got to enter the Hawkins warehouse. I guess it's going to be complicated.
No, it's very simple, in fact. Fuck off.
I don't give a damn about your racket. I just want to get into this warehouse.
And we don't give a damn about you.
What happened to the statue of St. Brendan? Dreadful.
What makes you think we did it?
We're bootleggers, not savages.
Who do you think defaced the statue?
What do I know? They could have done it by themselves.
The sailors?
Who else, in your opinion? And who's interested?
Cat. She's your boss.
What? You listen through keyholes?
She's the boss, yeah. She says who goes in or not.
Shut up, you dummy. You wanted to know that you also talk too much.
She must be quite intimidating if she can make two men like you tremble.
She redid the smile at the last one who wanted to get in.
I hope he had a good dentist.
No, you don't understand. She really cut him a new smile.
But he only smiles with the left cheek.
She sounds frightening, your boss.
And she doesn't like to be talked about behind her back.
I've got to get inside. It's your boss who sent me.
Oh, yeah? And why didn't she say anything to us?
She sent me to see who's filching her stock.
I don't know.
You got no proof to back up your claims.
If I can't get rid of those two, I'll have to look for another way.
How could you be dumb enough to leave the entrance to the warehouses unguarded?
Keep your voice down. Why not go and shout at the cat while you're at it? I don't want to end up with her little knife under my throat.
It's a stiletto, you idiot. And with that smell on your breath, I don't give you much chance anyway.
Я, может, эта сучка перестала пиздеть.
I told you to beat it.
Пуру-пуру-пу. Тетка Брэдли.
We're no longer at home on our own island.
Calm down. It's not worth the effort.
This warehouse looks abandoned. Why does it interest them so much?
No doubt a question of territory, but I ain't asking. You want to know more, go ask the captain.
Good. Thank you. I've seen the kind of messages their boss sends. You're not scared of her.
Of course I am. Everyone's scared of that woman. She's not interested in small fry like me. You, on the other hand, nose around too much.
I shall take my... A whale vertebra. If the newspaper clipping in the bar is true, this bone is a real fossil.
Тварь. Надо наверх. Хуй пойми как, чуть и что, блядь.
beast back in the water.
What could have done so much damage?
You can't understand. You're not sailors. It's a sign.
There. Hello, old friend.
Так.
St. Brendan, patron saint of sailors and travelers. Desecrated. Looks like Phoenician, or a very primitive runic script. I've never seen anything like it.
What's with you wandering around here like a...
I saw you talk. Go die.
So, who are you?
Are you stupid?
Everybody.
I've just arrived.
Let's just say we're standing guard and we let no...
What do you got?
Listen, bonehead.
I bid you... If I can't get rid of those two, I'll have to look for another way.
Well, did you miss?
I have an offer that could interest you.
Well,
I need you to keep them busy.
you send us to take the punishment. What's in it?
What would convince...
There's only one thing.
For sure.
Look what I've got.
You're a good guy. Follow me. Cheers, you jackass.
Oof, I don't feel well.
Hey, where are you going?
Say that again. I hope for your sake that I didn't hear.
Let's see. Shoot. I'll have to find another way to get in. It's no use. The padlock won't give.
Well, well. A little mouse has got lost on our turf. You're not only inquisitive, you're also stupid. What gave you the crazy idea to come onto my turf?
Your turf? That's news to me.
For a guy who has no idea, you've been doing a fair bit of poking around. My men saw you staking out the Hawkins warehouse.
Is that against the law?
I'm no idiot, Detective. I'll tell you how things work around here. I decide who comes in and who stays out. And anyone who doesn't respect my rules, I punish them.
Is your name Kat?
What of it?
Maybe we can come to an understanding.
Maybe. Or maybe not. Get this joker out of here. He might have a little trouble walking on his own.
I'm getting careless. I didn't see that coming. If I want to get into this warehouse, I'm gonna have to deal with her.
Please. My tongue got ahead of my senses. Or something like that. Hey, tell him to calm down.
Nobody listens to us anyway.
That's no way to treat an omen.
Oh, yeah?
Hey, Mitchell. A drink for our new friend. I owe you. You don't know how to fight, but at least you've got guts.
Yeah, aching guts.
Huh. I've got them too. But you don't hear me whining like a pooch who's lost its leash. You didn't back down. Something that I respect. So understand by that, if I catch you again, you'll carry a more permanent reminder of our encounter. Tell me, what brings you to Darkwater?
I'm investigating the deaths of the Hawkins family.
It's very nice of you to tell me the truth so openly. But it's also really stupid of you. You really don't seem to know the area. Let me give you a little advice. If you want to survive more than a day in this rat hole, avoid talking about them to the first people you meet.
Is that more dangerous than having a drink with you?
I'm not kidding. The old families, they were here long before us. And they'll be here long after we are gone.
The old families?
The descendants of the first whalers. These people truly worship their ancestors.
I've got a few questions about the island.
I'm not here to give you information. Mitchell will tell you what he wants to tell you.
I need to get into the Hawkins warehouse.
You're out of luck. It's on my turf.
It's precisely for that reason that I've come to see you.
Are you pulling my leg?
Think it over. I've seen what you're capable of. And you didn't miss me.
I accept the compliment. Well, I see you're serious. To be honest, as long as it doesn't interfere with my business, I don't care. But I'll go with you, to make sure you don't stick your nose into things that don't concern you.
Sounds honest to me.
I'm not finished. If I do that for you, if I let you onto our turf to conduct your little affairs, you'll be indebted to me, and I guarantee that I always collect on what I'm owed. Think about it. I help you, you'll owe me a favor in return. Do you accept?
Do I have a choice?
Oh, we always have one, Detective. Follow me.
Nobody questions your authority here. I was given to believe that Fitzroy stood up to you.
That dope tried to save face in front of his sailors. They revere their brave captain as they do their old statues. But sooner or later, all statues get buried in bird shit, and nobody cares.
And the police? They do nothing to stop you?
The local cops? The cops drink like everyone else, sweetheart. They know where their interests lie. Apart from that pig-headed Bradley. I don't know whether to admire his stubbornness or to have pity on him.
Don't put that beast back in the water, you shysters. You're crazy.
They're cops. They can't understand.
Damn.
The same goes for you, sir. Move along.
I'm looking for this address. Warehouse 36, Darkwater Harbor.
Ah.
I didn't Edward Pierce.
In any case, it's not very... I can't answer that.
You can't?
Oh, no. Now, please.
You can't understand. You're not sailors. It's a sign. There's something coming.
Проститутка, стой. Щенки. Да давай ты шевелись, ёпрст.
That's how it's done. Do I still need to hold your hand? Or do you think you'll get by on your own now?
Don't overdo it.
Good. In that case, I'll leave you. I've done enough mothering for now.
Ugh, this place stinks. What is the connection between this place and the Sarah Hawkins case? What is this picture of Charles and Sarah Hawkins doing here? Is this one of Sarah Hawkins' paintings? Le Petit Parisien. Who might keep a can't sleep? I know how that feels. These painkillers were prescribed 3 months ago. Somewhere it smells as bad as it looks.
Someone has settled in here.
And whoever it is has something to tell me about the Hawkins case. Is there anyone in there? You! Don't move! Detective Pierce. I told you to stay away from this warehouse.
It's clear that you knew the victims. I'm sorry to dig up bad memories.
I can still see the poor child lying burned on the floor of their drawing room. We had to tear him off. The marks must still be there. They're in my mind anyway.
It's horrendous. I'm going to need your experience to bring him justice, Officer Bradley. Can you explain what this painting is doing here?
This strange portrait. Wait, I know it. It was in the Hawkins mansion when we came to investigate the fire.
So you confirm that it was removed from the crime scene? Interesting. I'd like to go and see the mansion now.
Of course. You want to go back along his trail? I'd like to understand how this painting made it to here. God damn it. Her again. This case has nothing to do with you, Baker. Clear the passage or I'll shut you up for obstruction.
Officer Bradley, you've finally grown a pair. Too bad you're too fat to see them down there.
Why, you?
Come on, keep the smile. You don't want to force me to widen it.
Okay, I get it. Can we go to the mansion now?
I thought I'd straightened you out, mister. I am disappointed, but we'll meet again.
Is it far, this mansion?
Look behind you, at the top of the ridge. You see the building? That's the Hawkins mansion. Come on, we got some driving to do.
Смог пробраться на склад, место которое, когда заброшенным, скрывало несколько тайн.
Well, here we are. Hawkins Mansion. The place has been abandoned since the fire. There's only old Winchester in his hut.
I see no scorched trees or fire damage on the building.
You're pretty damn observant, ain't you? The fire was quickly contained. Old Silas acted as soon as he could.
Not soon enough to save the Hawkins.
They were trapped in the drawing room. And don't go troubling Silas anymore. His guilt torments him enough as it is. Are we gonna take a closer look at this mansion or...
You won't get me to believe that it looked any better 3 months ago.
It's a very old building, you know? Its foundations would probably date from the arrival of the first settlers.
Huh. It's really that old.
Come on, let's leave the stories of the dead alone. They've nothing to... Let's go up there.
You're the one who looked after...
Don't think I was trying to hide it.
That's why you're so keen to find out...
Yes. If something escaped us. Anything else?
I prefer to be prepared if there's going to be trouble.
It's a wise attitude. But apart...
You're talking about Winchester.
That's right. The Hawk, strictly speaking, he ain't dangerous. But since the tragedy, though, he's a remarkably sturdy man, given his...
A sad old man.
Gee, if you don't want to listen to...
Your partner, Andrews, warned...
You managed to get something out of that bum? I'll end up asking...
He talks too much. He inferred that old Silas was...
That's not far off the mark, I suppose. You know, Silas Winchester has been working for the Hawkins family. Charles was like a son to him. So he's got nowhere to go. And is there anything else you want to ask?
Night falls quickly here.
I'll go with you. If only...
Why not?
Right. Let's go.
Poor kid. Poor kid. Someone must really hate Charles Hawkins.
I told you. Silas Winchester is still watching over the Hawkins family.
I must say, it's pretty gloomy.
So, Detective, does this place inspire any thoughts?
Do you know if Charles Hawkins had any enemies?
Not to our knowledge. He was a well-respected personality on the island. I don't understand. Silas would never have let such a thing happen.
Why were they buried here?
I was given to believe that it was Charles Hawkins' wish.
Strange idea. I imagine Webster wasn't too pleased.
Mrs. Hawkins' father? It's said that he's devastated.
Let's go to the man.
Please give me a minute. I didn't expect this.
The flowers on Sarah Hawkins' grave are fresh. The caretaker takes great care of these graves. The caretaker takes...
Эй, поганый мент.
Bradley was right. This place is much older than I imagined.
Из этого мента пойдем сами.
I'll have to find another entrance.
Вот так вот ты прыгать не умеешь.
This entrance is still in use.
Whoa!
Whoa!
You were trying to force the door, you nosy prick!
Easy, sir, all right? Put down the axe.
You know what we do with rubble like you? We gut them. Dump them into the ocean.
Whoa! You're Mr. Winchester. Lower that axe. Let's talk calmly.
I'll show you how we have it out on Darkwater.
Sarah Hawkins' father sent me here to investigate the death of his daughter.
Webster, huh? I understand how he feels. But me? I want the dead to rest in peace. And that means kicking the ass of gumshoes like you.
Why would you not want me to help understand what happened here?
I've got nothing to hide. Tell me what you're doing here. And no baloney.
The police report describes a domestic accident. But Stephen Webster has several reasons to believe that this may not be the case.
Webster is as stubborn as an old mule. And I did tell him that we should let the dead rest in peace.
He wants to restore the reputation of his daughter. I just need to see where the fire started.
The mansion isn't safe. You would break your neck as sure as you're trying my patience right now.
That's why you barricaded the entrance.
That's right.
And this door?
It's locked, and I make sure it stays that way.
The sooner I carry out my investigation, the sooner I wrap up the case and return to Boston. After which, you'll never hear of me again.
Huh. I like the sound of that, but I have a better idea. You leave right now, and you never come back.
What are you doing?
Officer Bradley, this hood was trying to break into the mansion.
Do something, Bradley, or this story will have a nasty ending.
I vouch for him, Silas. He's working with us. We have reason to believe that someone entered the mansion and stole some paintings.
Impossible. I would have seen it.
Better safe than sorry. Now let us in. I promise to keep an eye on this one.
Да, приглянет он.
Okay then. I'll leave the key with you. You could have told me that earlier, Sonny.
Let's see what more I can learn from this mansion.
Сука. Не пугай
Stop
людей, ты
bothering
пожалуйста.
me.
Pierce, shall we enter?
Let's take a look inside.
I'm with you.
У тебя есть пистолет-то, мент?
Follow me. I know the place. Who left this light on?
The Last Supper of the Hawkins. What does this tell me? What kind of meat is this? This place is for the head of the family, Charles Hawkins. The boy was probably here, smashed his plate on the floor. Sarah Hawkins' plate. Why did she leave it untouched? Something happened at this table. An argument?
Hey, Pierce. Daydreaming again?
Working, officer. This dinner table tells us a lot about the Hawkins family life.
Well, we don't have all day. The scene of the fire is next door.
Ну, конечно, еще и гроза. Подождите.
Was Charles Hawkins some kind of explorer?
Silas managed to bring the fire under control, but it was already too late for the Hawkins.
Charles and Sarah's wedding, as painted by Sarah herself. Let's see if I can find something the cops missed. The child's corpse left a trace. Where are the others? Was Charles Hawkins a heavy drinker? If the painting I found on the docks really came from here, how come it didn't burn? They had a fight. Why did it stop at the time of the fire? Did Sarah Hawkins lose one of her shoes? How? Did someone escape the fire? Blood. This lamp was thrown. This was no accident. This was a fight. Someone fell here. A desperate attempt to flee. And the boy.
So, Detective, what do you make of it?
Much of this evidence simply contradicts the investigation's findings.
Really? Tell me about it.
It would seem at least one person fled the crime scene.
What'd you say?
That mark on the door. Someone's hand slid down there. The left side has no mark, the door was open and that someone left.
For God's sake. I mean, if it's Charles or Sarah, they wouldn't have left their son.
They would rather die in the flames as a family instead of calling for help? I don't buy it.
Oh, yeah?
I can tell where young Simon was, but not his parents. Where were their bodies found?
I can't help you on that one. Charles and Sarah's bodies had already been carried away when I got here.
Without your authorization? By whom?
Marshall, Andrews, Chief West. We never deal with cases like that, you know. So, well...
I'm sorry, Bradley. I found a bottle of whiskey. Empty.
Charles sure liked that drink.
No glass. I suspect one of them drank heavily to calm down. Charles, most probably.
That's pretty thin. Who says that bottle hadn't been there for a while?
I suspect this lamp caused the fire.
That's what the investigation suggested, too.
But does your report mention the bloodstains? The lamp didn't fall, it was thrown at someone.
For heaven's sakes, no. The report doesn't mention that.
I firmly believe this fire was more than just an accident.
What's your theory?
Someone deliberately set fire to this mansion.
You sure of that?
There's only one way to be sure.
I just ask that you don't disturb anything. If Chief West found out about what we're doing, I'd be in serious trouble.
Не сцы, все будет в порядке.
These bandages are covered in dried blood. The same bandages that I saw in the warehouse on the docks. And given the bloodstains, I'd also say that it's the same person. The lyrics of the drunken sailor. A sea shanty. This door is blocked from the outside. An original edition of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, dated 1818. What do you know about Charles Hawkins' activities?
Well, not much, to be honest. We all assumed the Hawkins lived on Charles's inheritance. If you're right, we should be able to find clues among the Hawkins' personal effects.
This piano is in disrepair. Moby Dick, Melville's classic. The epic battle between man and whale. Mandatory reading for any whaler, I guess.
Did you hear that?
What do you know about Charles Hawkins' activities?
Well, not much, to be honest. We all assumed the Hawkins lived on Charles's inheritance.
This piano is in disrepair. Looks like the Hawkins kept it more for decoration than for music.
Кто-то есть еще тут. Кто же? Пойдем наверх, хватит кругами ходить.
Greek mythology. Hecate, goddess of the dead, daughter of Tartarus, and mother of Scylla. One of Sarah Hawkins' paintings. Her style sure is recognizable. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Another story about the mysteries of the deep. What could Sarah have done to make this person threaten to call the police? Locked. What will her room reveal about her? A barbiturate prescription from a certain Dr. Fuller. Such an excessive dose. Either this man is a charlatan, or Sarah's condition is unlike anything I've ever seen. This padlock is too complicated for me. It's no use. The padlock won't give. It's no use. The padlock won't give.
Я ж ключ взял, ебаный в рот.
The boys' room. A child's fort. From what threat was Simon protecting his world? Tom Sawyer, Mark Twain. Sarah must have read it to him before bed. Sleeping pills. Strong for an 11-year-old boy. What was wrong with this family? What nightmarish vision could have inspired them? Simon's troubles went beyond family problems. That kid saw something. Something terrified him.
Ooh.
Despite what happened, they seem to have loved each other. This ledger lists all of the paintings Sarah Hawkins sold. It seems the last one was given for free to a Frances Sanders. I wonder why. Sarah Hawkins' agent was getting worried. Seems she wasn't giving any signs of life. Was Sarah Hawkins interested in the occult? Looks like a revocation ritual. Was she trying to invoke something or banish it?
Bradley? Is that you?
Сразу тут кто-то когтями скрябал.
Is anyone there?
You! Stop! Bradley, did you see which way he went?
Who? I didn't see anyone. I just heard some noise. Are you all right?
A man was hiding on the upper level. He ran when he saw me. He can't be far.
I'll cover you.
This door was closed earlier.
Какая дверь?
Where did he go?
It looks like an old seaway map.
Do you really think that your fugitive came in here? I don't see any way out.
Why are these letters here, and not with Sarah Hawkins' belongings? Clearly, Charles Hawkins knew Captain Fitzroy very well. I wonder who the man with the glasses is in the photograph. The Scylla. It's the boat that was stranded at the end. This panel is movable. Cogwheels. They must be linked to an opening mechanism. Probably a secret passage. I must find a way to activate the opening mechanism. I'd be better off not touching them for the moment. As if the bookcase has been moved several times. This globe seems to have been part of some mechanism. Doesn't work. I must have missed something. Doesn't work.
Не, наверное, тупо для таких загадок.
Doesn't work.
Даже 75.
Doesn't work. I must have missed something. Doesn't work. I must have missed something.
I'd be better off not touching them for the moment.
Я тупо для таких загадок.
Doesn't work. I must have missed something.
Вот еще цифры. Да, нам надо.
Doesn't work. I must have missed something. Doesn't work. I must have missed something. Doesn't work. I must have missed something.
Потом у нас идет 49 северный, 61 западный. Еще чуть-чуть. Так. 90, 70. Вот так. Потом 57 северный, 51 западный. Хуй его знает. Без понятия. 33 северный. Блядь.
Doesn't work. I must have missed something.
33, 53. 57, 51, 49, 61, 40, 75. Ладно, ребят, давайте на этом закончим. Я ни хера не понимаю эту загадку. Я разберусь с ней, запущу ее до, и мы с вами продолжим.